Hello and welcome. Our topic for the day is subtracting radical expressions, numbers only. To understand the concept, let's read out some text from here. Just as with regular numbers, radical expressions can be subtracted, but we might not be able to simplify the subtraction all the way down to one number. To subtract radical, they have to have the same radical part. Same radical part means if I have 2 square root of 3 minus square root of 3. Here we see that the numbers inside the radical are same. This is known as same radical part. So 2 square root of 3 minus only square root of 3 is nothing but 1 root of 3, or simply square root of 3. What we've done here, 2 minus 1 is 1 and square root of 3 remains as it is. This can be written as another step, 2 minus 1 times square root of 3. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 square root of 3 is simply square root of 3. But if we had 2 square root of 3 plus 3 square root of 2, we cannot add this because inside the radical we have different numbers. So we leave it over as it is. This is for addition. If we had subtraction, so this will also same applies to subtraction. That is, it will remain as it is. We cannot simplify it. Wherever possible, we will first simplify and make it down to the smallest radical, and if possible we'll combine them. So here we given in the first question negative 5 times square root of 45 minus 4 root of 45. Now inside the radical we have the same number. So what we do, negative 5 minus 4 in parentheses and square root of 45. Negative 5 negative 5 minus 4 is a negative 9, square root of 45. This is the final answer. This answer can be further simplified because we can further break down the number inside the radical. Let's see, 45 can be factored to 3, 15, 3, 5, 5 times 1. So this can be written as negative 9 square root of 3 times 3 times 5. Two 3's can be paired up together and it can be brought outside the radical. When come outside, it becomes a single 3. So this is equal to negative 27 square root of 5. This is our final answer. Let's move on to the next question for better understanding. Here we see we're given simplify negative 2 fourth root of 324 minus fourth root of 64. So we write down negative 2 fourth root of 324 minus fourth root of 64. Now here the index is 4, that is inside the radical sign we can make groups of 4, then only they'll be able to come outside. So first we'll make out the factors of 324. Starting with 2, we get 162. The next number is again 2, we get 81. 81 cannot be divided by 2. We move on to the next prime number, that is 3. 27. Further with 3 we get 9. Again with 3 we get 3, and the last is here. Also we make out the factors of 64. 64 divided by 2 is 32. 32 divided by 2 is 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. 8 divided by 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So we'll put it inside the radical, fourth root. So we have 1, 2, 2 2's and 4 3's. 1, 2, 3 and 4 minus fourth root of 64 has 1 2 3 4 5 6 fours. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. Since our index is 4, that is this, we can make groups of 4. This is a 3 out here, 4 threes and 4 twos. Now 4 threes come out as a single 3 outside the radical, and inside the radical we are left with 4. 2 times 2 is 4, minus 1 2 will come outside, fourth power of, we are left with 2 times 2, which is equals to 4. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6, fourth root of 4, minus 2 fourth root of 4. So now inside the radical we have the same numbers, so we can subtract negative 6 minus 2 times fourth root of 4. Negative 6 minus 2 is a negative 8. Fourth root of 4 is the final answer. That's how we solve it. Let's look at the next question. We have simplify negative 3 times root of 125 minus 3 root of 20. Minus 3 root of 125 minus 3 root of 20. Again, the numbers inside the radicals are not same, so cannot be subtracted directly. We do the prime factorization. We start with the number 2, not possible because it's not an even number. Try 3. 3 is also not possible. We start with 5. Down to 25. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 divided by 5 is 1. For 20 we can start off with 2. 2 times 10. 2 times 5 is 10, and here like this. So we list out the factors. Inside the radical we have 5 times 5 times 5 minus 3 root of 20 can be written as 2 times 2 times 5. So we make a pair of 2. So this is negative 3 times 5 square root of 5 minus 3 times 2 square root of 5. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15 square root of 5 minus 3 times 2 is 6. So now inside the radical we have the same numbers, so they can be subtracted. Negative 15 minus 6 square root of 5, this is equals to negative 21 root of 5 is our final answer. I hope subtracting radical expressions numbers only is easy now. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.